spiritual community deep in the heart of Texas, connecting with kindred spirits around the world. You are invited to explore or dive right into our powerful teachings, practices, mystical experiences, and heart-opening connections. This month, we explore unleashing possibilities while leaping into prosperity as we grow ourselves, co-create with the universe, and experience joy while transforming the world one life at a time. No matter if it's in person or virtual, we are so glad you're in community with us today. So let's get our celebration started with some uplifting music by our CSL Dallas band and music team.
There is one life, that life is perfect, that life is my life now, that life is love's life, that life is perfect, that life is my life now. Spirit in me knows the answer now. I surrender all my fears and doubts. There is one life, that life is perfect, that life is my life now, that life is love's life, that life is perfect, that life is my life now. Spirit in me knows the answer now. I surrender all my fears and doubts. There is one life, that life is perfect, that life is my life now, that life is love's life, that life is perfect, that life is my life now, 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 that life is my life now.
Well, good morning, CSL Dallas in the room, online, and all over the world. I'm Darlene Franklin, your platform assistant today. And as always, let's read our purpose statement to open up our celebration. That our purpose is radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, transforming lives. And so it is. And we are celebrating you for Appreciation Sunday, which is for our donors and volunteers who have made our Right Sides campus a reality. How's it feeling? Feeling good. Feeling good. It really is, because we worked hard in here, I'm trying to tell you. So if you have given money or helped sort, pack, move, build, paint, or brought us food, we want to celebrate you. Music and special presentations during our Sunday celebration, followed by a reception with stories, outrageous appreciation, certificates, and a time to experience our awesome CSL Dallas community and our warm and inviting new home. So mark your calendar for November 10th for a very special Sunday celebration. Make sure to join us every Sunday evening also for CSL Dallas Virtual Connect, Express, Reflect, starting at 7 p.m. Come together with others and talk about the topic of Sunday celebration, and join by going to the events page on CSL Dallas and get the link to the Zoom meeting. Now, let's settle into this morning with our music team, Candy, Erin, Glenda, Stephanie. It's got some names on here where I don't see the person. Along with our band, Brad, Jonathan, and Jason, and go within and center yourself today with Lisa Ferraro. Introduction by Miss Candy Williams. Yes, indeed.
It is truly my honor to let you know who this lady is right here. Lisa Ferraro is a visionary and considered a modern-day mystic. She's a leading-edge author, speaker, spiritual teacher, retreat producer, and facilitator who for nearly 3 decades produces creativity and inspirational retreats internationally. A world-renowned singer-songwriter who charted on the Billboard Jazz chart. I got to do that again. A world-renowned singer-songwriter who charted on the Billboard Jazz chart. Lisa is a masterful orchestrator of sound, light, energy, and consciousness, and her teaching style is engaging, intelligent, funny, and heart-opening. In 1993, Lisa was initiated as a Kriya Yogi with Self-Realization Fellowship, immersed in the light. And my personal note, she sings her face off. Ladies and gentlemen, Lisa Ferraro.
Thank you, Candy. Thank you, everyone. So we're going to open this morning just sinking deep into the soul. Sink into your seats, put your feet flat on the floor, and allow yourselves to experience the full magnitude and force of the beautiful final tweet from Dr. Maya Angelou, which I put to music, and it's called Quietude. If you listen to yourself in the quietude, you might hear the voice of God. If you listen to yourself in the quietude, you might hear the voice of God. If you listen to yourself in the quietude, you might hear the voice of God. If you listen to yourself in the quietude, you might hear the voice of God. The voice of God. The voice of God. You might hear the voice of God. voice of God, the voice of God. You might hear the voice of God. If you listen to yourself in the quietude, you might hear the voice of God. If you listen to yourself in the quietude, may you hear the voice of God. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, it's like it's someone else, it's me. So opening up to this moment, this quietude, that still small voice within. Oh, infinite divine beloved, in this moment I am knowing that there is no separation. That in deep sacred union with the infinite, that life is a love continuum, a sacred merging of the creative force inherent in all and everything. I open to possibility. I leave behind a prescribed idea of what has passed, opening fully present to this now, and this now, and this now. That infinity is somewhere at the crossroads between nowhere and now here. I step fully and boldly into the unknown, and I peer over the edge of infinite possibilities and infinity, ready to create a brand new day, a brand new way of being, with all I have access to right now. I say yes. I say, put me in. Life is for me. I release this knowing that it's already done, and yet for me to discover and participate as I co-create this version of me, which is welcomed, required, and suited for my day. Om, peace, Shanti. So be it, and so it is.
DSL Dallas. I'm your AIS co-chair, Valeria Ponte, and this is...
I'm JL Summers.
We'd just like to say thank you for being here. Thank you to Lisa for that beautiful song and prayer treatment. So this morning... Oh, there we go. Here we are. This morning, I would just like to say that when I walk into this center and I see that V, it's always called me because, as you know, my name is Valerie. So I was like, wow, I'm home. I never knew, but now I know. And it's been 13 years. And for 13 years, I've always sat on that side. I don't know if you've ever noticed that, but I've only ever sat there. But now that I'm flexing this new muscle of being a co-chair, I'm over here now. And I think that's great. I think change is wonderful. As you know, I've spent a lot of years volunteering my time because as a single mom, initially that's all I thought I had. It's like, well, I don't have any money, but I have time. And limited time because I'm a mom of 4, but I started my tithing journey with time. And at first, because I'm a high school teacher, I decided I would go in and tithe time with the children. And then I decided, yeah, I do that Monday through Friday. I don't want to do that on Sundays too. Plus, being a mom. But anyway, it was a good experience and I liked it. I didn't hate it. I just felt like it was too much of the same thing. So fast forward, I joined the music team, and fast forward, now I'm a co-chair and still on the music team that I love so much. Hi, y'all. So if you're on your own, well, you are on your own tithing journey, and this is the time here at CSL where we ask you to please pledge your time and your money. It's important to the center, and it's been my home for 13 years. I can't imagine going anywhere else. And I've tried to go other places. I've visited other places, but nowhere is like this. Nowhere is like this. And I've looked. Before I ever set foot here, I also had, tried different places. But this is home, and this is where I love to give because it gives me the wonderful life that I have.
And same here. We both have the journey of being single moms when we first started coming to CSL. So tithing, again, was like, okay, I got food, groceries, and CSL. So it was difficult to figure out that right number that fit with my lifestyle. But my life has prospered so much from being a part of this community and also getting the teachings that this community has. The teachings have inspired me to know that abundance is always flowing into my life. And so thankful, not only was I abundant with, funds in my life over the years I've been with CSL, but also I gained a husband, another baby. I mean, life just kind of has been abundant all around. No more babies, God. But I would like to say that my financial progress has definitely been affected by my contributing to CSL. And one thing I know, too, is when you do contribute, if life changes, because life happens, you can change your pledge in the process. So don't let that intimidate you or anything like that. And guess what? If life changes in a good way because of all these prosperous prayers, you can change your pledge a little bit more during that time, too. So we pray again for all of your prosperity in this community, and we ask that you be a part of 2025 pledge.
Yes, and thank you in advance for all of your pledges. And our progress is going great, so I can't wait to tell you about that. There will be a person, me, standing in Barong Lounge if you have any questions after service. And today we are going to share a testimonial from community member Daniel Jackson.
Hello, CSL Dallas. Daniel Jackson here. And I'm honored and grateful to be able to tell you a little bit about my journey and my commitment to pledging at CSL Dallas. CSL Dallas holds a special place in my heart as a beacon of light and community. From the moment I stepped through its doors, I felt this overwhelming sense of belonging and peace. The warmth of the congregation, the depth of the teachings, and the spirit of inclusivity have all contributed to making CSL Dallas a sanctuary for my soul. The teachings at CSL Dallas have profoundly impacted my life. They have provided me with the tools to navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience, sometimes not so graceful, and they have deepened my spiritual practice. The wisdom shared by the leaders and the community has been a guiding light, inspiring me to live a life of purpose, a life of love, and a life of service. Tithing is my way of giving back to this extraordinary community that has given me so much. By pledging, I am not only supporting the ongoing work of CSL Dallas, but I'm also expressing my gratitude for the countless blessings I have received. It is a practice that reinforces the flow of abundance in my life and reminds me of the importance of generosity. As your treasurer, I know to a penny almost how impactful every pledge, every donation is in this center, and how no matter what the dollar amount is of that pledge or donation, how it is multiplied through the different programs and services that CSL Dallas offers. I encourage others to tithe as well, because I have witnessed firsthand the transformative power of this practice. Pledging is not just about financial contributions. It's about making a commitment to the growth and vitality of our spiritual community. It is an investment in the future of CSL Dallas, in the lives of all those who are touched by its message of love and empowerment. In giving, we receive. Through tithing, we become active participants in the creation of a more vibrant and thriving community. I am deeply grateful for CSL Dallas and for the role it plays in my life, and I'm honored to support its mission through my pledge. Thank you.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Daniel, for that. And so, as we know, we have priorities, right? Our priority is to continue building, growing, and expanding CSL Dallas. And this week, we're focusing on the online engagement. So if you're online, and you can watch this later online, we want to let you know what's coming in 2025 as a priority. We want to reach everyone by providing authentic connections in the virtual environment. We are dedicated to creating the true virtual community while providing compelling and accessible content. We are discovering ways for our online community to engage, get support, and contribute to CSL purpose and mission. So one of those things, I know you know, after service, you can also get prayer online. So those are ways where CSL is trying to expand and make sure that we reach everyone. Also, if you want to contribute to the 2025 goals that we have, please, there will be a post online for you to sign up your pledge, and it'll direct you to the website where you can place your pledge as well. Again, we only do this once a month, so once a year. Thank you. Not once a month. I won't be up here next month, I promise. But once a year, we only do this once a year so that we can plan for 2025. So let's talk about our number that we are planning to have and receive, and we know it's already so. Our campaign goal is $815,000 and more, 190 pleasures and more. One more time. How much are we trying to get? Oh, thank you. $815,000 and more, 190 pleasures and more. And we know we're going to exceed that with everyone's participation, and I appreciate that. Last but not least, please make your pledge. Remember that the pledges are going to be Val is going to be in Barong Lounge, as well as Ann, probably, to support you in making that contribution to our center. Thank you.
$815,000. Let's see it. Totally. So I'm so thrilled to be here today. It's been some years since I've had the privilege of being here at CSL Dallas, and I want to thank Reverend Dr. Petra Weldis for the opportunity, and thank you, Candy, and the beautiful music team for the support. And this weekend, we had a retreat. I got to tell you, you've got some powerful practitioners in your midst, so come on. Take advantage. Ask for help if you need assistance getting up over the hill sometimes. I don't mean it like the way it sounded, over the hill. I mean, just getting into the zone of remembering what you already know. Every once in a while, we get a challenge that has a little extra twist in it. And we were calling them kinks in the field this weekend. Kinks in the field of consciousness. Many mystics and great master teachers talk about the field. Ernest Holmes did as well. But one of my favorite mystic teachers is Rumi, the 13th century mystic poet. And Rumi was known for saying in one of his quatrains, out beyond ideas of right and wrong. Remember this one? There's an open field. I'll meet you there. When the soul lies down beyond that grass, words like you and I stop making any sense. What does he mean? Paramahansa Yogananda would say it like this, in an affirmation we were using this weekend, and I'd like to invite you to think about it in prosperity-wise. We live in the world of duality when we materialize in form, cause and effect, positive, negative, masculine, feminine, all of these things. If you're baseball players, pitcher, catcher, that's the positive, negative charge. Without the pitcher and the catcher, that is literally called the battery of the team. There's no game. Nothing comes into play in this plane of consciousness. But there's this wonderful affirmation to help us remember that we don't always have to play from here. And in tuning in, like the second law of treatment, the second rule is unification, right? How many of you have taken foundations class? Get in there. Take it again or just read these things and start to really meditate on what does that mean? And am I doing it? The talk today is being fully present, living presence in the now, prosperity, the presence of prosperity. What does that mean? The unification is the recognition that there is one source and I am one with that source at all times. But you have to recognize that you're recognizing there is definitely that power, that source, that God, goddess, infinite, divine, beloved, whatever you call it. It's all one power, just the same. Doesn't matter what you call it. You could even call it late for dinner and it would come. Doesn't matter. It knows what it is. We need to remember that we're connected to it. So when we call to it and we say, there is one source, one power that is greater than I am, remember that. And it can use me and I can participate with it. So the affirmation is, thou, the greater source, thou art in law. Ernest Holmes said there's the love in the law, right? Thou art in this cause and effect. Thou art in law. Thou art above all law. Thou art above all law. Even as thou art above all law am I. How's that hit you? Like a little spark of divine remembrance. But it's taking the bird's eye view of things and not getting caught up in the obstacles, but recognizing that in this thing that is materialized in form, the particles and the waves in the field, it's been manifesting based on subtle thoughts. Thoughts have weight. Thoughts create chemicals. Thoughts create atoms, molecules, things that come together. And if we consistently think of a thought, it will materialize. But the biggest part of thinking the thought is not just with the thoughts, I was thinking I could be another Lincoln. We all have a brain. We all have a consciousness. Which ones are the ones that matter most? The ones that materialize fastest. They're the ones that are supercharged with the force of our will. So now I'm going to share a couple of stories that are, I think, hilarious that happened in my life. But as I'm sharing these stories, it's not that these things only ever happen to me. I would invite you to conjure up the images and remember when something similar happened to you with a different set of circumstances. Okay, I'm going to start with one. When we're talking about tithing, every once in a while when you're going to put a number that you're going to commit to, now your word is powerful. When you commit to something and you bring it into the material world and actually write it down, and then you commit your consciousness to it, it sends a signal to the universe that you're going to do this particular thing. And it is important that you do it as best you can. You don't put pressure on yourself. But you've got to remember you made a divine commitment. You caused an imprint in the cosmic field that is counting on the above the law part. It's counting on the whole thing to work based on the energy that you put forth. We are part of a cosmic symphony. Each one of us sounds our own particular note. The universe is sound and light, and that's pretty much it. And so are we. We are little authentic representations. I invite you to be your authentic differentiation of spirit. It's vital. We need you. We need the infinite as you, or else, we were talking about waves rolling in to the shore. Some are crashing. Sometimes you feel like that. My life's crashing. Other times we're just merrily we roll on. Sometimes, but it's a little mix, and we would get bored if we had too much of one thing or too much of another thing. That is not what this plane is about. It's about what now? So here's a story. When we're thinking about tithing, one of the first times I experienced the power of commitment was I had quit my job in the financial services industry. This is way back in the 90s, early 90s. And I committed my life to music, just writing music, meditation, and creating opportunities to invite people into a field of depth. That's what I wanted to do with my life since I was a little kid, and I decided, don't get caught up in the money, do the thing you love, and everything else will take care of itself, because I can't turn off my passion. It's not like a faucet. I will always have the deep passion for the things that are inherent in my authentic being. So I needed to recognize that was my expression. And so I was getting down to it, and I wanted to go to the Convocation for Self-Realization Fellowship. And the invitation came through the mail, and it was a particular dollar amount, which was it was just $5 less than what I had in my bank account at the time. And I thought, oh man, I want to go. I know it's where I need to be. But there was something inside of me that said, that's all the money you have. And instantly, before I bought into the I can't, I didn't go so far as to say I can't do it, but I was right on the edge of, I caught myself recognizing I'm going to get stuck in some idea of where money comes from and where it goes. And I was like, took out my checkbook, remember those? And I wrote the check out, put it in the mail, took it to the post office and dropped it into the box because I didn't want anything to happen to it. Got in there, I had $5 left in my checking account, and I thought, I didn't think anything. I didn't think it's going to work out. I really had no thought after that. So this is another thing about moving from the law to the thing above the law, is like to move from the new thought movement to the no thought movement. That's where it's at. Just be with what is in front of you. So about a week later, I sat in that space for about a week just doing little things like making some money. But I had forgotten that I'd worked for a company that would pay you your commission up front, and they would keep some of it. This is their words, not mine. They would keep it for the back end. So like, yeah, we're ever going to see the back end. You're never going to get that in the mail. I got the check in the mail. I completely forgot about it. And it was exactly, seriously, to the penny, what I wrote to go to the convocation. Right? Okay. So in order to participate fully, forget about what everyone says is the way to do it. There's more than one way to do it. Thou art in law. Thou art above all law. Thou art above all law. Even as thou art above all law am I. So first is to trust, is to have that faith. And what happens next is it changes your experience. I changed my experience, which changed my thinking, which changed my life. I did something that have never done before. I stepped out in supreme faith, knowing I needed to be at convocation, and I did. And that was the year that I was initiated into Kriya Yoga. That changed my life. All of the things I was looking for to explain the things I was able to do and the things I knew came through that whole philosophy. That was the only place they've been answered, and it's taken me further than things I've even pondered. You see? I needed to be there. It changed my life. So I invite you to do the similar thing. If this is your home, your spiritual home, Paramahansa Yogananda would say, environment is stronger than will. Have you heard that? So these sacred spaces where we can come and be of like mind and like heart and like, not identical, but this is the place where I can foster and grow into my authentic differentiation of spirit. These are sacred, and it's really important to come together in community. One of the things I learned too when I started meditating with the group, it's very powerful to meditate in silence with a group. You can go deep, deep, deep. And so every once in a while, and I say this to the people watching from home, it's really cool that you're tuning in at different times just to keep that groove of your consciousness awake and ready and awake and ready. But I invite you to recognize that sometimes you're the reason somebody shows up on Sunday. And to remember what it felt like when you walked into this space for the first time, and you would notice a particular someone that you just watched and maybe was a mentor to you. And you feel like, okay, yeah, I got everything I need from it. Well, come back and just be, because somebody's looking for you on a Sunday. There were two meditators, Bhakti and Bulent. And when they were there on Sundays, they were deep meditators. The whole place was super still. And I realize now, like 40 years later, they didn't need to be there, but they did need to be there. So if that's you, the invitation is to maintain a cycle through when you can, and recognize that you're part of the energy that makes this place vibrant. So with that, give yourselves a hand, because you're a vital part of community. It really matters. It really matters. And so playing with how these thoughts manifest in the world. This is a really simple thing. On the heels of like giving up the financial services industry, which I was really good at that. I loved helping people realize their dreams. And then I realized there's more to this, right? It's a whole different kind of thing. I was invited to join a friend who was going to Nashville for a conference. And she said, you should come, and then at night we can go like check out the clubs and like all this. I'm like, yeah, this is great. So she goes to the conference in the morning, and I decide I'm going to go to the gym. And this is how willpower works and force. I go to the gym, but before I leave the room, I recognize, oh man, they haven't replenished the bathroom tissue yet. But probably it'll be finished by the time I get back up, so I'm not going to worry about it. So I go downstairs, work out, go back upstairs, and I figured by then, you know how when you're trying to sleep in, housekeeping, they're always there. I thought by this time they've surely been there. So I go back upstairs and open the door to the room, and sure enough, they have not been there. So then I step outside, and you do the thing like you look left for the cart, right? Right for the cart. Walk to the end of the hallway for the cart, and there's no cart. I'm like, so I get in the elevator, and I hit the next floor down. Left, right, no cart. First floor down. Now I'm where the gym was. So I'm like, in my mind, something clicked that I wanted the roll of toilet paper to be in my room. I was not going to use the facilities in the gym. I just had I was on a mission now. It's turning into a thing. Foolish. I mean, it's just like, okay, the luxury of time. What do we do with your time? So I walked back down to the restroom in the gym, and I thought, well, I'm just going to take the roll of toilet paper from the gym, and I'll bring it up to my room. Because it's not like stealing. It's just whether they replace it there or they replace it upstairs, it's still on the profit and loss for the building. Who cares? So I go to open it, and somebody must have thought of that before me because it's locked and you can't get it out. Like, oh, come on. I'm thinking, you got to be kidding me. So I thought, okay, I'm going to concierge, and I'm going to ask for a roll of toilet paper. Ding the bell. Nobody comes around. There's no one. There's no one in the back. There's no one in the front. And for a split second, I thought the rapture happened and I got left. God, there's like nobody anywhere. So now I walked back to the elevators, and it's 3 elevator banks, and I'm frustrated at this point. But I said with all my might, all I want is a roll of toilet paper, like that. The middle elevator door opens. In the left-hand corner, perfectly wrapped and sitting straight up, is a roll of toilet paper. Swear to God. I did what you did. I started laughing. But then the next thing that happened was inside, that still small quietude voice would say, what do you really want? Ask me for something else. And I burst into tears because I was starting to write more. I was starting to travel more. And I just think about the infinite doesn't know, cosmic intelligence doesn't know big from small. Like, you're going to waste all that time and effort on a roll of toilet. Well, here's your roll of toilet paper, right? And it sounds miraculous, but I'm telling you these stories because the secret ingredient to the thought and the will is that emotion. You've got to charge it with something. It's like a singer who's not singing from the heart. They're just like, la, la, la. Like, nobody wants to hear that, right? I mean, would you pay money to hear that? That's why you're here. You've got a great music team. I mean, come on. You just don't. Like, when you're standing in front of a painting or just a person who's passionate about what they're doing, you get a contact high, don't you? It's contagious. So it's the force of that thing. Another way that it happens, Erika and I used to travel. We were gone many, many, many weeks out of the year. And when we would go, you know, the whole merch, remember CDs? We actually have some out there, but remember those? We would travel, we'd have 4 bags and then 4 carry-ons. We had all this stuff. And so it was important to have a luggage cart. Now, here's the thing, like, the power of presence, practicing the presence of prosperity is being fully present in the moment and shifting from hoarding or having all this stuff over here to having what is needed, what is required in the moment. That's how we live. It's like playing catch and release with the infinite. You've heard the saying, in my house we always heard it, please put things back where you found them. The infinite gives us the cosmos every single day. Before you go to sleep, give it all back. Go to sleep and wake up with heart open wide and trust that it will give you that which is required to meet the moment with perfect poise, perfect presence, and infinite love. So catch and release. Just let it go. So it became apparent that we needed a luggage cart. And after you travel so much, when the luggage carts went from like $5 to $10 to, it kind of just, it's not the $5 or the $10, it was the point of the thing. Like, that's ridiculous. So what I just started to do was I got in a space of wherever we are, somebody's going to have left a cart. And that happened every single time. Go from here to there, somebody just left the cart. And so we never had to pay for a cart again. It was just like done. One of these times we ended up going to, we were doing our Pacific Northwest tour, and we're starting up to, we land in Oregon, and we're at the airport now with all this stuff packed on the cart. And I said, Erika, you stand over here, and I'm going to go get our rental car, which I'd gotten through one of those companies. And as soon as I get to the line, the other thing is to be present in the moment for what is happening now. Maintaining your inner peace and poise. Just observe what is happening. But as my friend from Kentucky says, don't get caught up in it. Don't get caught up in the moment. Otherwise, you're going to get, like, override. Your thought's going to get displaced and something else is going to replace it. Watching news cycles. Please stop watching the news cycles. It kind of hijacks your passion and puts it in a different place. It's like no man's land or woman's land or anyone's land. You just don't want to be there. But I walk into the line, and immediately the person in front turns around to me and she says, they have no cars. They're out of cars. And I just paused for a second, and I said, of course they have cars. She said, no, you see all those people over there? There was a round of people screaming and shouting. They were all just told they have no cars, they have no cars. And I just, how many times, think of a time that has happened to you. You walk into a situation and everybody's, what did you do next? This is where a spiritual practice, where you practice maintaining your poise, your meditation practice. You don't get caught up in somebody else's reality. No. And I said, of course they have cars. And the next thing that happens, and I invite you to try this, is to, when something is chaos, literally take a step back physically and look for the slowest moving thing or person. That's going to have something that's, you are the mental equivalent, the energetic equivalent to the calm. So that's what I did. I just stepped back, and in my mind, I'm like, I know they have cars, and I'm not sure what this is, but I wasn't focused on what's all that. I don't care. I need a car. We got to put our stuff in. We're out of here. And so 2 seconds later, this beautiful woman comes walking out of the double doors where all the cars are, and just comes walking across like this. And so I stepped out of line and I walked over to her and I said, this is exactly what I said. Of course you have cars. And she said, we have cars. And I said, okay. And I said, well, we would like our car. And she said, when you get to the front of the line, make sure you get me. She had this exotic voice, like as if she was planted there from some like James Bond movie or something. I'm like, this is all very mysterious and cool, you know? So I got on my phone because I already know I'm gonna get a car, but I call the place the travel agent we booked it with, and I said, hey, and I explained the situation. And they said, well, if you get to the front and something changes and there is no car. I said, no, I think there's a car. Well, if that happens, just go to the other counter and we'll refund your money and go. I'm like, okay, great. So I got a plan B. Now I'm at the front of the line and she's helping another customer. And I could see her like shifting papers and looking at me. And somebody else calls me over and I look at her and she goes like this, but I step to go toward them. She scoops up all the papers, rushes over to the other attendant, hurries the customer she had over to him, and she waves me. And she says, I told you to wait for me. And I said, okay, because I watched like everyone in the front of the line not get a car. It was the weirdest thing. And I said, thank you. And she slides this key. She goes, the key is in B17. Take the car and go. I said, well, I haven't even signed anything. She goes, no, right through the doors. And I said, okay. So I'm laughing and I'm walking away, just looking back, and I see Erika standing on the other side. And we walk to the car, and it's not just a car. There are cars all over the place, first of all. Every slot is filled with cars. And this is like a triple upgrade. We had one of those caravans, doors everywhere. We threw all our stuff in. It was so easy. And as we're leaving, she's like, what took so long? I said, you wouldn't believe it. Like, if I told you, you wouldn't believe it. My phone rings, and it's the company that we ordered the car through, and I said, actually, we're in the car right now driving. And they said, well, just for the trouble, we're going to give you a $60 gasoline voucher. And I'm like, there was really no, oh, okay, thank you. So that's it. So rule number 1, charge your comments, charge your will with energy, lots of it. Number 2, don't get caught up in the energy of what appears to be happening, but use it to create the force necessary for what is required for you in the moment. Does this make sense? These are just funny stories, but how many of you are thinking of times in your life when you've had a situation like that? Every single one of us has experienced it at some point. Those are the things, build them like pearls on a string, you know, a crown with jewels of remembrance. Allow yourself to remember those times mostly and supercharge them. So there's the love and the law. And we were talking about physicists this weekend, and there's a physicist named Casey Cole, and he wrote a book called The Hole in the Universe. Scientists peered over the edge of emptiness and found everything, right? So he says, in quantum physics, the notion of matter being composed of definite particles has now been suspended by the discovery of an all-pervading field of powerful, invisible forces. Don't you love it? Particles of matter were in and of themselves irrelevant. They were only spigots through which various forces flowed. I invite you to realize yourself as divine spigots for the infinite. Yeah, I'm a name caller from way back. The concept of the field was a huge revolution of thought, and Einstein called the change in conception of reality from particles and empty space to fields the most fruitful revelation to physics since Sir Isaac Newton. So matter is simply a place where some of the field happens to be concentrated, which means we can make the concentrations in the field. If we start to think outside of the law, thou art in law, the field is in the law, or this wouldn't exist. Thou art in law. Thou art above all laws. They say that one twice. Thou art above all laws. Even as thou art above all laws am I. You're not just a particle in a wave. You are part of the field. You can bring all of this to fruition with crystal clarity using visualization. But mostly, it's charging it, coloring it in. So the essential stuff, the rope or the water, let's say, does not travel from place to place. They say only the kinks travel. So the field is everywhere, and thoughts like waves travel, but the field is permanent everywhere. So what that means is everybody could be thinking, every single human on the planet can be thinking a different thing. The field doesn't move and go. It's not like pi. There's not, like if somebody uses all these particles and waves, well, they're not available to me now, so I can only use, no. The thought floats, but the field remains permanent. You understand? There's an unlimited supply. It's unlimited. It's not just, well, this one used it up already, so I can't have it. No, that's not how the field works. So you've got to believe and understand. You not even understand it. I don't know how we can really, but use it with your heart's passion, with mind's intention, with focused, energized intention. Bring forth from it whatever you want. Another way to say it, those of you who hang out with me for more than 8 seconds realize I love food. Everything eventually turns into that. Just like cookie cutter consciousness, if the whole universe was like cookie dough, Christmas is coming, holidays are coming. If you rolled it all out and you stuck in a Santa Claus, what would you expect to pull out? Santa Claus. A reindeer? If you put in a star, would you pull out a reindeer? No. It's the same thing with consciousness, only there's not a limited amount of cookie dough in the cosmos. Like it's infinite. Everything is infinite. So it's not controlled by cause and effect. It's not controlled by the markets. We don't grab a whole bunch of it and turn it into the ground so that we can raise the price on it and make it a commodity. There's no such thing as a commodification of consciousness. Don't believe it. Don't even go there for a second. Not even for the sake of argument, if somebody wants to get into a philosophical conversation about how the mystics work. You don't have time for that. It doesn't materialize. There's no there. You see? It's infinite to all of us. So when I say take your part, I mean take your particle and wave. And get your big self in the game. Get your big S in the game is what I like to say. And shake it all about. Make things happen for yourself and others. Like we really need your authentic differentiation of the infinite. And I'll leave you with this. And Paramahansa Yogananda, the great master teacher, says, forget the past, for it is gone from your domain. Forget the future, for it is beyond your reach. Control the present. Live supremely well now. This is the way of the wise. One more time. Forget the past, for it is gone from your domain. Forget the future, for it is beyond your reach. Control the present. Live supremely well now. This is the way of the wise. And you're all wise. Let us see you shine. Thank you. All right. Thank you. So we're going to sing a song for you that we put on this place called Here CD. It's a song from an old movie from the 60s, a Barbra Streisand movie called On a Clear Day, right? These are so metaphysical, these lyrics. Have you, right? And then Erika Luckett and I jammed a couple little new sections into it. And Glenda's going to sing with me. I'm so happy about this. So it'll start like what you recognize, and if you feel like clapping when I start snapping, I would love that, right? We love that kind of stuff. All right. Help me with the words. I can't remember them. On a clear day, rise and look around you, and you'll see who you truly are. On a clear day, how it will astound you that the glow of your being outshines every star. You'll feel part of every mountain, sea, and shore. You can hear from far and near a world you've never heard before. And on that clear day, on that clear day, you can see forever and ever and evermore. Ready? On a clear day, open your eyes and see this clear day, the light and the beauty of this clear day. Carry it with you, and wherever you go, watch miracles unfold on a clear day. Remember just who you are this clear day, as bright as a brightest star this clear day. Carry it with you, and wherever you go, watch miracles unfold. All of life is just asking you to love it. What powers galaxies, well, we're all made of it. Cut through the haze, get ready to be amazed. On a clear day, rise and look around you, and you'll see who you truly are. On a clear day, on that clear day, you can see forever and ever and Thank you. Thank you, guys. Nice. Thank you very much.
I don't know if you, it's just something to see your spouse you know, see one of her dreams come true. I don't have a backup person, so let me get with it. Okay, I got it. You know, and to be singing with something, not that the rest of y'all aren't famous, but to be singing, anyway. So, please give generously to the work of CSL Dallas. Activate the law of giving and receiving and make a difference here at CSL Dallas. And let's begin by affirming our abundance together. I accept and expect only the highest good. I have abundance because I am abundance. Divine abundance is forever flowing into CSL Dallas, our community, and through everything and contribute. So it is. There are many ways to give: text giving, PayPal, auto tithing, or save CS Dallas the fee and put a check or cash in the mail or in the basket. Pick what works best for you. So, cultivating a consciousness of gratitude and growth at our women's retreat. We're calling all women and gender diverse individuals who want to experience a safe space for genuine conversations, spiritual growth, shared insights, and community connection. Join us for a transformative women's retreat where you will connect with like-minded women in a serene and supportive environment. This retreat is designed to foster and expand your attitude of gratitude and embrace a growth mindset. November 9th, 9:30 a.m., 4 p.m., in person only. Thanksgiving is coming up this next month, and we are looking for those who would like to sign up for our Thanksgiving food and preparation team. If you are interested, we have sign-up forms located here in Barong Lounge. Our spiritual coaches are also available for your spiritual support after the celebration today, either in person, located in Barong Lounge, or online via Zoom. Use the link that is being posted in the chat right now. Also, make sure to check out our all-new artist gallery that is now moved into Barong Lounge. Today is the last chance for you to check out this month's featured artist, Sharon McGregor. Today will be the last time that you will be able to pick up a beautiful masterpiece for your home, and also the last day to pick up any art you may have purchased. So, we love being in community with you. Now join me in standing as we sing our celebration to a close with our fantastic music team.